Are you interested in providing results-driven treatment services? Join a team of like-minded individuals who share your passion and support your success. With more than 1,000 franchised locations in 49 states, Massage Envy is not only the nation's #1 provider of massage services collectively across its franchise network, but also a national leader in skincare. Start or grow your career at a Massage Envy franchised location. Visit massageenvy.com/estcareers for full details. SkinScript Skincare was created by estheticians for estheticians. Join us in 2024 as we bring you the best in new products, classes, and resources. Plus, no sales pitches, no pressure, and no spending requirements. The focus is always on you. Sign up at skinscriptrx.com and embark on your path to becoming an empowered SkinScript Pro today. DMK is unlike any skincare company on earth. Named after visionary founder Danae Montague King, DMK is committed to providing individualized products and treatment plans that heal skin on the cellular level, whether the condition concerns pigmentation, acne, inflammation, or signs of aging. DMK is home to the original enzyme mask, the game-changing formula that sends oxygenating, tightening, and exfoliating signals into the skin to enact changes in skin structures from the inside out. At DMK, we believe everyone deserves to feel the confidence that comes with healthy, beautiful skin. Learn more at DanaeMKing.com. That's DANNEM King.com.
Hello and welcome to ASCP Esty Talk. I'm Ella Cressman, licensed esthetician, certified organic skincare formulator, international educator, and content contributor for Associated Skincare Professionals.
I am Maggie Staszcuk, licensed esthetician and ASCP's education program manager.
And we have a shout out.
We are really excited to say hey to Pure Aesthetics Natural Skincare School in Tucson. So glad you guys are listening.
Love it. Thank you so much. And this one is actually dedication too, to all the schools that listen in. We're also honored to have Sherrie Tennessee in studio today. For those longtime listeners, you'll recognize her voice from our previous episodes on wellness. Mm-hmm. And for those of you who want to tune in or listen again, check out episode 59, 60, and 74. You've been with us for 3 episodes. Wow. I know, they're good ones too. So just as a recap, so everyone can remember, Sherrie has over 20 years experience in spa and wellness education and training. She's a keynote speaker. She has authored 4 books. She's designed, developed, and facilitated training programs. Which include like some pretty prestigious places like Johns Hopkins, MediImmune, Johnson & Wales, Sandals. I mean, we could go on. She has a BS in biology, an MBA in marketing and entrepreneurship, and is currently a PhD student at William F. Harrah College of Hospitality, University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and a professor.
Wow.
Welcome, Sherrie.
Happy to be here again.
I need a breath after that. I was like putting them all on my fingers, every qualification. So as both a student and a professor, you have a lot of experiences with the school environment.
I do. I have been in post-secondary education 21 years now. I started out teaching at a massage school on the East Coast. So yeah, I've had a lot of classrooms.
You've seen a lot of things.
Oh, I've seen some things. And I'm also a massage therapist too, so you see a lot in that role.
I bet. And Maggie, you were a student at some point.
I was, yeah, a long time ago.
You were an instructor?
Yep.
And you were a director of education for one of the top schools in Colorado. So you are well acquainted with the Esty school experience.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. This is all a drum roll to get to what I wanted to talk to you guys both about today. So I ran across, you know me, creeping on the social media, always looking, never participating. So I ran across the funniest, most audacious post on Facebook recently, and I thought, oh my gosh, this makes the perfect Whoopsie Doozie episode. mostly because we all have our own version of an Esty school horror story, or maybe a massage school horror story for Sherrie. When we finally go to esthetician school, there's no doubt, right? We're excited, we're anxious, we're full of hope. We have expectations that are pretty high.
I feel the same way as an instructor. I'm full of hope. and then
the
class
hits.
begins. Yeah.
And it's like, did you know? I mean, you have to credit the recruiting because they really sell it.
Yes. They fluff it up.
But I don't think they sell the reality of it.
Well, maybe not, but maybe I think there's this point in school where you're like, wait a minute, this doesn't match up. Here I thought I was going to be helping people, helping their complexion, I was going to be putting on makeup, but I'm folding towels. I have my daily sanitation. I have to learn about communicable diseases. Like, this isn't as pretty as I thought it was going to be.
It's not as sexy. In my role at Sandals, I actually created a massage program. And we had people from like the wedding department, accountants, because they're some of the highest paid people on property. And I was like, people get on the table with dirty feet, right? Like, people don't shower, they stink. They
relax.
There's other body fluids that come out. So like, it's not just this beautiful, glamorous experience. Like, you become a sheet professional. Like, I don't need to see a video on how to fold a fitted sheet. I am probably better than Martha Stewart.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I can do
roll it up.
Oh, no. You got to tuck it and then
Yes. I'm right with you, Sherrie. You got to tuck it right, get those corners in.
No. I roll
like
it.
15 years of folding?
I roll it and stuff it. No, there's a lot of people that have these complaints about Esty school not measuring up to their expectation, whether they were sold by school admissions staff or they're just disenchanted for some reason. And of course, Reddit is a really great place to see some of those types of stories. Yeah. And many of the complaints on Reddit or Facebook they're pretty standard. Like, I didn't learn enough about this skill set or this subject, or I didn't have enough hands-on with this type of, and I'm not mocking. It's just that it's going to happen because the truth is, like, our industry is ever evolving and there's absolutely no way that you're going to master everything.
You can't cover it. It's like toe dipping. And I think that's where continuing education comes in. I think that's why you need to continue to go back to school, get those classes, those new trends. Because what we were doing in 2001 when I started in school, it's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different approach. And you need those continuing eds to add to that skill set. It's an introduction to the world of SD and massage. It's enough to get you going, but you have to have that passion to follow up.
Well, before that, it's really just the pass tape boards.
That's 100%. And I think really you do all your learning, like what you're saying, Sherrie, once you graduate and then you're out in the industry.
Yeah.
So we get that. And we can often walk students, it's going to be okay. Just hold on. You're going to pass boards. You're going to be fine. Yeah. Because there's also that point right before they take boards that they're freaking out. I didn't get enough. I don't know enough. I did it. Did you guys do it?
I did. And I am master on nail tech and I had to do acrylic nails. And I did it like once. I'm deathly allergic to the powder. So it literally was like before COVID, I was sitting in there with a mask on trying to do an acrylic nail. And I was like, I just need to pass. Like, I'm never going to do an acrylic nail again as long as I live. I just need to do it for the state boards. So yeah, it's like just enough.
Just enough. Let's get through. So some stories are general complaints like that, but then other stories are extra. So because both Sherrie and Maggie have been instructors, directors, and are intimately acquainted with schools, I want to share these stories with you that came across on this post and get your feedback. So one of the posters wrote, this one student brought her pet bird to class and left it in the locker.
I'm worried.
That is not normal.
What?
What happened to the bird?
Did it live?
Is it okay?
I'm assuming the way it's written makes it sound like repeatedly.
Oh.
Like it was going to its night-night. Come on, Polly, go night-night. Polly, want a Brazilian?
We all have anxiety, right? So maybe it was her therapy bird. There was a guy who tried to bring a peacock on the plane in Miami as his therapy bird.
Oh my gosh.
But no, that's not normal. And that's not something you really want to have in your treatment room. Isn't there a case now where the woman was on the table and the dog got up and he bit off her eyelid?
What? I've never heard that.
Yeah. It's a pitch that I'll do when we're off mic. But yeah, she was an SD. I think the woman was getting her eyebrows done and her chihuahua got up on the table and like bit the lady's eyelid.
Whose chihuahua was it?
It was the SD's of Chihuahua. Why is the dog in the treatment room?
Why is the dog at school too? Have you ever heard of that? Going to school? Like, I guess.
No, I went 20 years ago, so times have changed.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about like the germs. I do have a BS in biology. I wanted to be a veterinarian. So how are you creating this clean environment with the bird?
If it's a therapy bird, what's it doing in your locker?
In your locker.
Okay. Speaking of things that don't make sense, the next one had me laugh out loud. And I'm not sure if I was laughing out loud because I was uncomfortable, if it was funny, because, I mean, just a disclaimer, violence is never the answer. But I want to know if this happened to either one of you guys, because this is some Griselda Blanco stuff. So basically, somebody posted, a student tried to fight an instructor in the parking lot over a failed grade. LOL. Mind you, the girl rarely came to school, and she actually dropped out. It was crazy.
Been there.
I haven't had violence.
Been there, Maggie said.
Yeah.
I haven't had violence, but I have been like taken to the dean, to the director of the school because I didn't give a passing grade. One was I picked on them, which was basically asking them to answer a question in class of, do you understand the content? It doesn't, I mean, I feel like out of 30 students, it's usually like that one thorn.
Well, this is not a thorn. This is a shotgun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't had that, but I'd love to hear.
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, so first, now this didn't happen to me, but there was a girl who stabbed a knife into another instructor's tires in the parking lot.
No.
But okay, about the attack that happened, I will say this student was diagnosed with split personality disorder.
Okay.
And we were not informed. So she is in class and something set her off.
Trigger?
Yeah, there was a trigger. And she comes flying out of the classroom, and me and the owner of the school are in the hallway, and slams both of us up against the wall. And she was literally a different person, starts talking with a different voice, whatever, and then ran out of the school. And we're like, what the heck just happened? And we're making phone calls, reach out to her guardian, and then they disclosed, I'm sorry, we didn't tell you. We thought she could handle school, but she has this diagnosis.
Wow. Imagine being in treatment with that.
Yeah.
And what would trigger it? Would it be conversation? That's freaky.
My goodness. You did make me think of something. I taught at this one school. They are closed now, and I still don't remember the name. But there was a gentleman, I'm doing introduction to massage, and he was just a little off. And at the end of the class, one of the students come to me and they said, he drew a gun and was pointing at you while you were teaching. And so I went to the powers that be at the school and I was like, look, it's going to be either him or me, but I'm not coming back into a classroom where someone is drawing guns and pointing them at me.
Yeah.
And so they ended up dismissing him from the class, but it was like an introductory class. And like I had just finished my master's and like, you need that for that higher education collegiate level. And I was like, I've invested too much time and money to walk away from this industry. So we're going to have to put some foot down action. So the next class he was gone, but
yeah, that's not funny.
Yeah, no. And it's just like, this might not be the industry for you.
I wouldn't awkwardly laugh at that either.
Yeah,
for
like
me.
I did have a student. I loved him because he was not normal. And he would stand up in the back of the class while I was teaching, flipping me off.
Did he have Tourette's or something?
Or just to make you laugh? What would you do? How'd you keep a straight face?
I would say to him, your mom would not approve of this behavior. And he would say, yeah, you're right. And then go back to sitting down. But it was almost like a daily thing.
Oh my, in aesthetic school?
Yep. In aesthetic school.
And we don't really get, it's a decent income, but for like that, I need you to pay me a whole lot more for.
But Maggie's super poised. I would have been not as nice.
I would have walked out and been like,
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of loved it, to be honest. So like, thank you for breaking up the day.
Nice. Maybe that's what he was doing. Did he ever double down, like 2 guns?
Just the one.
Being on a college campus now, we just had a mass shooting in December. I can't play with that anymore.
Yeah,
I cannot.
it's a different world now.
It's a different world. And what was even more frightening is 2 of my professors were like, yeah, this is our second campus shooting. So like when I see that erratic behavior, you got to go.
Mhm.
One of us got to go. You can stay, but I'm going to go.
Mhm.
But we can't play around with that anymore.
Here we have this poster writes, this girl was practicing a Brazilian on me, swore she knew what she was doing, and didn't. We had to get a teacher to step in, and that teacher thought it would be a teachable moment, gathered the entire aesthetics program around, and showed them how to do it. She said, my skin was lifted and burned, and I still had hair. Like a lot of waxing horror stories in school.
Yeah. Waxing was always the toughest week because people are scared. Nobody's done it before. Brazilian was always an optional thing. You know, I mean, I get it. Not everybody wants that. And certainly you don't want to get with your fellow students to potentially have Brazilian. But in aesthetic school, you know, you've got the curtains that go around the bed. So it'd be one of those things where I would say, if you want to practice Brazilian, you want to learn Brazilian, we would always have a model. Like you said, Ella, one person is the model, everybody's watching. And I don't think I ever had a class who said we don't want to learn this. But once it was demoed and taught, if you want it, you get behind a curtain with a partner and you do it. But there's always hair left. There's always wax that people can't get out. They're not using enough pressure. They're matting it to their underwear. You know, I don't know, like the whole 9 yards. But it is a stressful week.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not an esty. I said I don't do eyebrows and I don't wax woohoos. Like I know what my space is, and that is not it.
I learned after I got out of school but that was a whole different horror story. We all know the Santa in a headlock situation, the cotton balls, but yeah, that was horrible. In school, I didn't want to do. I just watched like around somebody, like I was behind somebody, you know, stretching my head around, going, "Oh, okay." Like, but it was awkward because you're seeing a different side of somebody, and then you have to like sit next to them at lunch. It's just an awkward moment. So I could see that being a very stressful week at school. Before I'll bring this to a close because even after you get out of school, there is some whoopsie doozies or horror stories. So this one is after Esty school, but still training related.
Mm-hmm.
This poster writes that we were getting trained for the new Venus Versa machine our boss, the owner, purchased. She was practicing laser on us. So that tells me maybe not licensed professional. I'm not quite sure. But she zapped off the other esthetician's eyebrow and her hair along the side hairline. And it was so bad. The owner responded, "It'll grow back, LOL." I was like, oh my gosh. She would respond so horribly to any mistake she made. It's like, not my fault. Your body reacted that way, or it'll be fine. I had to quit. Yeah, girl, you had to quit.
You did, because that was not going to be an environment of growth.
That happens a lot too. It's like, oh, you had a reaction? It's your fault. What did you eat? You know? What did you put on your face?
I remember we hired an SD and she did snatch half the lady's eyebrow off.
It happens.
It happens. We ended up comping her some services and did some retraining on the job.
Is that Mandarin Oriental? You don't have to say.
This was the spa that I owned. I owned a spa in Baltimore.
Oh yeah, that's right. The green spa.
Renew Organic Day Spa, Baltimore, Hampton. So my business partner was a master esthetician. So she ended up retraining the young lady. But yeah, the lady walked out with half an eyebrow. And you're just kind of like, oh, man.
Did you give her half off?
We gave her 100% off and then some more comp services. Like, please don't sue us. Like, please come back. And she did. We apologized. But it does. She laughed it off. She was a more mature woman. So she understood. And it wasn't that much hair anyway. But yeah, so.
Okay, here's the final one. This was on the thread, but it's definitely after. So it's post school. This one had me rolling. And it's a Cosmo that posted it. I was envisioning this as I read it, but she wrote, "I'm a Cosmo, and I once had a client arrested out of my chair mid-service with color in her hair and everything." Okay? Long story short, she had warrants, But we were concerned she was getting trafficked because of her situation with her, quote, friends was super weird. And she looked to be underage. But nope, she had warrants for drug charges. Funny thing is, the cop that arrested her was a friend of mine, and I've actually done her hair and nails in school. So it was a very odd full circle moment. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my God.
Crazy.
I mean, it doesn't happen every day, but I did recruiting for some years. And I remember a warrant coming through and it was red. And I was like, oh my God, am I in trouble? So
As a student, there was a warrant for a student?
Yeah, there was a warrant for a student.
That's another Griselda Blanco
and
situation.
It was in a place that, and it was a drug. It was drug related as well. And it was at a place where cannabis is legal. So it said not cannabis related. And you're just like, oh, wow.
Can you imagine the SWAT team showing up at aesthetic school or whatever to get the student that was fighting in the parking lot?
But maybe we could have them come back to the clinic and maybe, when they come back, get some services. And
the cops, they need it.
They
It was
need
a
it. They're
long day.
out. Take care. They sweat. Take care of their faces and everything.
Yeah.
It could be a potential client.
Well, thanks for coming, Sherrie. We really appreciate you being here,
pleasure.
chatting.
Hilarious.
Crazy stories, right?
Crazy, crazy stories.
As a final thought, I'm sure there are many instructors who also have student horror stories. In fact, there is a hilarious reel from Miss Beauty Fluent on Facebook. If you guys want to look her up, I'm sure it's across all other platforms, but it's titled Students After They Enroll in an Esthetician Program. And it has a voiceover from Joe Exotic from Tiger King. So you're welcome, you guys. Go search it out, check it out. Let us know what you think. Give her a like. But listeners, we really want to hear from you. Do you have any funny or audacious SD school stories? Comment on our social media posts or send us an email at getconnected@ascpskincare.com. We want to know all the details. In the meantime, thanks again, Sherrie, for joining us. And thank you for listening to ASCP Esty Talk. For more information on this episode or for ways to connect with Maggie or myself or to learn more about ASCP, check out the show notes and stay tuned for the next episode of ASCP Esty Talk.